Gia Moreno used to be a cheerful woman until one monster took her happiness. Now, at 32, she moves through her small bakery like a machine programmed for survival. It's 6 a.m. on a Thursday, and the world outside is still dark. Inside, everything is controlled. The overhead lights buzz soft and yellow. Mom. Her son Sammy sits at the corner table. 8 years old and too perceptive for his own good. He has HIA homework spread in front of him, a pencil tucked behind his ear like his grandfather used to do, though he never met the man. Mom, knock, knock. She doesn't look up. Who's there? Boo. Boo-hoo. Don't cry, it's just a joke. He grins, waiting for her reaction. She smiles, the one she perfected over years. Warm enough to satisfy, shallow enough not to hurt. That's terrible, baby. You smiled, though. Did she? She can't tell anymore. The bell above the door chimes. Mrs. Chun, her most loyal customer, enters right on schedule. 6:15. Every morning. Like clockwork. The usual? Gia asks, already reaching for bag. Mrs. Chen nods, then pauses. Studies Gia's face with the frankness only elderly women can manage. You know, you used to hum while you worked. I miss that sound. Gia's hands freeze mid-motion. Did I? Every morning. Some old melody. Made the whole place feel alive. Gia tries to remember, but can't. The confession sits strange in her chest. Discovering you've lost something you didn't know you had. Mrs. Chun takes her bag, leaves money on the counter. The door chimes again. Silence returns. Sammy watches his mother from across the room, sees the moment pass over her face like a shadow. He's 8 years old, but he understands more than she thinks. Mom, are you okay? Of course, baby. Why wouldn't I be? He doesn't answer, just returns to his schoolwork. The dough beneath her hands is ready. She shapes it, sets it aside, starts again. This is her life now. Small, safe, under control. She tells herself it's enough. At 9:30, the bell chimes again. Gia looks up with her customer service smile, already in place, then stops. The man in the doorway looks expensive with his tailored suit, confident posture, and the kind of polish that comes from money. But there's something familiar in the way he hesitates at the threshold, something that tugs at memories she's buried deep. He approaches the counter. Up close, she sees the nervous energy beneath the expensive exterior, the slight awkwardness that wealth hasn't quite erased. Hi, he says. Waits. She blinks, searches her memory like flipping through old photographs. Nothing surfaces. His face falls. Just slightly. Just enough. It's Logan. Logan Pierce. The name clicks. Her eyes widen. Oh my God, Logan, I'm so sorry I didn't recognize. Heat floods her cheeks. Embarrassment. Guilt. You look so different. I mean good different. Great different. She's babbling. She never babbles. He smiles, but there's something wounded underneath. It's been a long time. 15 years. High school. Calculus class. He sat 2 rows behind her, always arriving early, always leaving late. Shy kid, nervous hands, brilliant mind. She borrowed his notes once when she was sick. He decorated the margins with terrible stick figure cartoons to make her laugh. She'd completely forgotten. What can I get you? He studies a display case, points to something specific. Do you still make those cardamom honey twists? The ones you invented junior year for the bake sale? Her breath catches. She'd forgotten those too. You remember that? I remember everything about you. The words land soft and heavy. The air between them shifts. Her hands tremble as she reaches for the box. Just slightly. Just enough that she hopes he doesn't notice. He notices. She packages the pastries with forced efficiency. Takes his card. Swipes it. Their fingers brush during the exchange. She pulls back like she's been burned. It's really good to see you, Gia. You too. He lingers. Opens his mouth like he wants to say more. Then thinks better of it. Takes his box. Leaves. The door chimes. She exhales. Sammy appears beside her like a ghost. Who was that? Just an old classmate. You're lying. Your hands do that shaky thing when you lie. Kids see everything, know everything. It's terrifying. She busies herself wiping the already clean counter. Finish your homework. On the radio, the morning news drones, business reports, traffic updates. Then, Pierce Enterprises finalizing its landmark acquisition partnership with Crown Corporation, the energy dynasty founded by. The name Crown hits like a dropped tray, and Gia's hand freezes mid-wipe. She lunges for the radio, turns it off, and sees Sammy watching her again. Too smart, too aware. He points to a framed photo on the wall, her mother in hospital scrubs, holding newborn Sammy. The only picture Gia kept from that time. Why did Grandma work at that hospital? The one where I was born. Gia's voice comes out soft, distant. She wanted to be there when you arrived. Said she'd make sure you were safe. Safe from what? The question hangs between them. Finish your homework, baby. He returns to his table. She returns to her dough, despite a subtle shift in her aura all day. By 7 p.m., the bakery is closed. Register counted. Floors swept. Sammy at the back table, finishing his last math problem. Then the lights die. Complete darkness. Gia curses under her breath, grabs her flashlight, heads to the circuit breaker in the back storage room. The metal panel is old, temperamental. She flips the main switch. Nothing. She pulls harder. The switch is stuck. Stubborn piece of... The bell chimes from the front. "We're closed," she calls out. "It's me. I forgot my wallet." Logan's voice. Of course. With Sammy's help. He finds her in the cramped storage room, surrounded by 50-pound bags of flour. The space is small. His presence makes it smaller. Need help? I've got it. But he's already reaching over her shoulder for the panel. He's taller. His chest brushes her back as he grips the switch. She can smell his cologne. It is cedar and something else, something that makes her heart do a thing she doesn't want to name. His arms cage her in, not threatening, protective. He pulls. The muscles in his forearms flex. The switch gives. Light floods the room. They're standing very close. She can feel his breath on her neck, can feel her own pulse hammering in places she'd forgotten about. His hand is still raised, gripping the panel above her head. Neither of them moves. "Mom?" Sammy calls out. They jump apart. Sammy stands in the doorway, illuminated and curious. "You guys will make a good team." Logan clears his throat, steps back, runs a hand through his hair. I should go." Gia nods too quickly. "Thanks for the help." He moves toward the front, pauses at the doorway, turns back. "Gia, I know it's been years, but if you ever need anything..." She does not let him finish, putting distance between them. "I should get Sammy home. School night." At the front door, Logan lingers. He picks up his wallet, then studies her face like he's trying to memorize it all over again. "More than happy to help if you need anything, Gia," he says quietly, then leaves. Gia locks the door behind him, stands there in the yellow light of her small, safe bakery, and touches the spot on her shoulder where his chest pressed against her back. The touch burns. She pulls her hand away. "Mom!" She turns. Sammy's watching her with those two smart eyes. "You're smiling." She is. She stops immediately, clears her throat. "Go get your backpack. Time to go home." But as she turns off the lights and sets the alarm, she catches a reflection in the front window. And for just a moment, she sees someone she used to know, someone who used to hum. 2 days later, Gia's phone rings at 4 p.m. It's Sandra, her usual catering contact. "Gia, I'm dying." "Food poisoning. Can't even stand. I've got a family gala tonight. Massive event, triple rate. And you're the only person I trust." "Sandra, I can't." $5,000 for 6 hours. "Please. I'm desperate." $5,000. That's 2 months of rent. Sammy's dentist appointment. The walk-in freezer that's been making crazy sounds. "What time?" 7 p.m. "I'll text you the address." "You're a lifesaver." Gia hangs up, stares at her phone happily. This was the kind of job she needed at the moment. Sandra sends the details, and when Gia sees the name of the family she's catering for, her phone almost slips from her palm. Pierce? As in Logan Pierce's family? Different thoughts course through her head, but at the end she takes a deep breath. Just Pierce. Not the family I've been avoiding, she says, then adds. What could go wrong? She calls Marcy, her employee. Can you watch Sammy tonight? Sorry, babe. My sister's got physical therapy. Can't cancel. Of course. Seeing as she cannot find anyone to watch Sammy, Gia arrives at the Pierce estate with her son in tow and supplies in the back of her aging sedan. The house is obscene. Old money renovated with new money. Stone and glass. History and innovation. The kind of place that makes you aware of your tax bracket. She parks in the service entrance. Unloads. Sammy helps carry trays, wide-eyed and careful. This place is like a castle, he whispers. She kisses the top of his head. Stay in the kitchen, okay? Don't wander. Okay, Mom. The kitchen staff directs her. She sets up her station. Arranges canapes with the precision of someone who's learned that perfection is survival. Keeps her head down. Stays professional. At 7:45, she enters the ballroom with her first tray. The room is beautiful. Chandeliers. Live music. People who've never worried about rent. She scans the crowd with professional detachment, avoiding eye contact, moving efficiently, trying to avoid Logan in person. But instead, she sees her worst nightmare. Fred Crown. Older, more polished. Same cold eyes. He's laughing with a group of executives across the room. Hasn't seen her yet. Hasn't looked her direction. And she hopes he never looks in her direction. The tray in her hands tilts. She catches it. Barely. A waiter materializes beside her. Takes it from her shaking hands. You okay, miss? She nods and rushes toward the exit. 1 step. 2. Almost there. Then she hears her name. Gia? She turns. Logan. Confused and pleased. He's in a tuxedo. Looks like he belongs here. Because he does. I didn't know you were catering tonight. Then he sees her face. Sees the terror. What's wrong? Before she can answer, an older man approaches. Distinguished. Silver hair. Eyes like cut glass, and they lock with hers. Ms. Moreno. The man smiles and Gia subconsciously pinches herself. Perfect. She rolls her eyes as a father of her worst nightmare walks close with a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. What pleasant surprise, Mr. Crown says. Logan looks between them. You know each other? Mr. Crown ignores him. Perhaps we should speak privately? I don't think. She tries to refuse professionally, but the old man cuts her off. It's about my grandson. The word detonates. Logan's face changes. Confusion, then understanding, then something more complicated. Fred appears behind his father, sees Gia. His expression is unreadable, but there's no surprise, no shock, almost like he knew she'd be here. Gia's voice comes out as a whisper. There was no use pretending anyway. How long have you known where I was? Mr. Crown's smile sharpens. 2 years, Ms. Moreno. We've been patient. But circumstances have changed, and we need to talk. The room tilts. The chandelier above seems too bright, too heavy, like it might fall. The board requires assurances about succession. Your son changes the valuation of this merger considerably. His legitimacy changes everything. She can't breathe, can't think, can only move. She turns, walks, then runs, back through the ballroom, through the kitchen, where Sammy is arranging strawberries, humming to himself, oblivious. Mom. She grabs his hand. We're leaving, but you said, now. Her hand never leaves Sammy, not even when she gives subordinates their tasks or when she's practically running to the car or fumbling for her keys with hands that won't stop shaking. Gia, wait. Logan's voice fills the parking lot. Talk to me, please. She can't get the key in the lock. Her vision is blurring. Is she crying? When did she start crying? He gently takes the keys from her hands. You're in no state to drive. You can't help. Nobody can help. Then let me try anyway. She looks at him. This man who remembers her cardamom twists, who still carries a torch after 15 years, who doesn't know what he's volunteering for. Sammy is scared. She can see it in his face. She's tired. So tired of running alone. Tell me everything. Logan says quietly, please, let me in. And in the parking lot is family's estate. With her son watching and her past closing in, Gia Moreno feels the last of her walls begin to crack. The past hadn't forgotten her. And for the first time in years, she realized it never would. And finally, Gia speaks. I met Fred Crown when I was 19. He was older, confident, made me feel chosen. She laughs, bitter, hollow. I was trapped before I even realized the door had closed. Logan's jaw tightens, but he stays silent. It was 3 months to marriage. His family had money, influence, control over everything. The first time he hit me, when I laughed at something the waiter said. Her voice goes flat, the tone of someone reciting facts to survive them. It got worse. The control, the violence. His father knew. Everyone knew. No one helped. When I got pregnant, I thought maybe she stops. It made things worse. He was obsessed with having an heir. I was just a vessel. Logan's hand moves toward hers. Sammy was 3 months old when I left. Middle of the night. My mother helped me disappear, and I just ran. You've been running ever since? Yeah, she answered. For 8 years. New city, cash jobs, no trace. I thought I was safe. She finally looks at him. They've been watching for 2 years. They were waiting. She nods. Can't speak. If she speaks, she'll scream. Logan reaches for her hand. This time, he doesn't stop. His fingers wrap around hers. Warm, solid, and real. I'm not going anywhere, Gia. You don't know what you're saying. I've been in love with you since I was 16 years old. The confession comes out quiet. Absolute. After graduation, I tried to find you. Searched everywhere. You'd vanished completely. And now, after all these years, I finally found you. You think I'd walk away now. The words hit her chest like a physical thing. They'll destroy you, your company, your family. The merger alone is worth billions. You can't. Let them try. Logan, I know you like solving problems, but I'm not a project you can fix. He flinches. The accusation lands because it's partially true. I don't want to fix you, he says carefully. I want to stand beside you. She looks at him, sees the boy who decorated her homework with stick figures, sees the man who remembers cardamom twists after so many years. I don't know how to let someone in. Then let me teach you. She's too tired to fight, too tired to pretend she can do this alone. She leans her head on his shoulder. He doesn't move, afraid she'll spook, afraid she'll pull away. They sit in the dark, breathing together while her son sleeps. For the first time in 8 years, Gia Moreno allows herself to feel safe. The next morning, Mr. Crown visits the bakery. Alone, he wears a suit that costs more than her car. Sits at a corner table like he owns the place. Orders nothing. Just waits. Gia approaches, standing. He doesn't look up from his phone. We're not open yet. This won't take long. He gestures to the chair. Never makes eye contact. Please. She remains standing. He sighs. Opens a briefcase. Slides a folder across the table. $5 million. A house anywhere you'd like. Your son visits on holidays. Supervised. You sign an NDA, relinquish future claims, and everyone moves forward. Gia stares at the folder like it's a snake. You're offering to buy my son. I'm offering you freedom, Ms. Moreno. Real freedom. No more looking over your shoulder. His smile is surgical. Sammy will have every advantage. The best schools. Security. Legacy. Things you cannot provide. I provide love. Love doesn't pay for college. Or protect him when you're gone. He finally looks up. Your mother's health records, for instance. Still under our hospital network. Fascinating reading. He leans back. There's another condition. You stay away from Logan Pierce. The merger depends on focused leadership. You're a distraction he can't afford. And if I refuse, then we discuss Fred's parental rights. In court, where a judge reviews your living situation, your work hours, how often the boy is left with employees. He pauses. A custody battle would be unfortunate. For everyone. He stands. Leaves a business card on the table. You have 48 hours, Ms. Moreno. The words echo. Choose wisely. The door chimes. He's gone. Gia stands alone in her bakery. The morning light streams through the windows. Dust particles float like ash. She picks up the card. Her hands shake. $5 million. Or everything. She sits, stares at the empty chair where he sat, where Evil sits so casually, wearing expensive suits and polite smiles. The bell chimes. A customer. She puts on her mask. Good morning. What can I get you? Across town, Logan sits in his grandfather's office. The old man built Pierce Enterprises from nothing, turned it into an empire, sharp as broken glass, utterly pragmatic. Walk away from the girl. How can you ask me to do that when you know I've been searching for her all these years? The Crowns are threatening to pull the merger. $15 billion in infrastructure contracts. Thousands of jobs. Logan paces. They're using a child as leverage. They're protecting their interests, as you should protect yours. His grandfather says, my interests include not being a monster. Logan adds, and his grandfather sighs. Heavy. Disappointed. You're more like me than I thought. Stubborn. Idealistic. It cost me my first marriage. Nearly cost me the company. He looks at his grandson. It won't end well, Logan. Then I'll deal with the consequences. His grandfather shakes his head. You'll watch everything we built crumble because you couldn't walk away. Logan stops. What would you have done if someone threatened the woman you loved? The old man is quiet. Then I'd have fought. And I'd have lost, and I'd have done it anyway. Logan nods. Remember what you said to me that year? That if I find her, I should not hold back. Logan's grandfather sighs, then nods. They were his words, after all. So he lets Logan follow his heart, then made a call, and his first sentence to the other person was, the plan is in motion. That night, Logan shows up at the bakery after hours. You shouldn't be here. Gia says, I know. They'll use this against us. She adds, I know. Logan says again. Gia keeps wiping the counter. He gently takes the cloth from her hand. Talk to me. Logan pleads. I don't know what to do. If I fight, I lose Sammy. And you lose everything because of me. You're not listening. Logan sits her down. I don't care about the merger, Gia. I care about you. Why? The question breaks from her. I forgot you existed. I'm a mess. I come with a kid and a target on my back. Why? He cups her face. His thumbs brush her cheekbones. Because when I'm with you, the world makes sense. It always has. She breaks. And before she knows it, she makes the move, kissing him desperately, like she's drowning in his air. Like this is the last good thing she'll ever have. They stumble backward. Flower dust catches the moonlight, turning the air silver and soft. By the time they pull back, desire burns in their eyes. Gia pulls back, grabs Sammy, then packs her bag so they would go home. When she heard the doorbell, she sighed, thinking he left, but she didn't expect to see Logan's car outside, waiting for her to get in so he would drive her home. At home, Gia puts Sammy to sleep and expects Logan to leave too, but a heavy rain starts, and Logan decides to wait out. The cool weather together with the steamy scene from the show they were watching on Netflix makes the room burn with desire. One touch was all they needed, and clothes began flying. They make love right there in the living room, and afterward, they lie on the floor wrapped in his jacket, her head on his chest, his fingers tracing patterns on her shoulder. She hums, without realizing, the old melody, soft, unconscious. He recognizes it. You used to hum when you were concentrating. She laughs against his skin. I forgot I knew it. He kisses her forehead. Don't forget again. She falls asleep there, in the quiet, in his arms. For the first time in 8 years, she forgets to be afraid. Gia wakes in her bed, disoriented and a bit energized. Logan's in her kitchen, making breakfast with Sammy. They're laughing. She watches from the doorway, this impossible scene of domestic peace. She starts humming, doesn't realize. Sammy turns. "You're happy." She is. She smiles fully. No armor, no performance. Then her phone buzzes. Text from Marcy. "We need to talk. Now." The humming stops. Through the window, she notices something. A black SUV parked across the street. Tinted windows. Engine running. How long has it been there? 20 minutes later, Marcy is home, and she's crying before Gia even sits down. "I'm so sorry." "What did you do?" "Fred came 3 months ago. My sister needs constant care." "Marcy, he said he'd cancel her insurance if I didn't help. Information, your schedule, when Sammy's at school." Gia grips the table. How much does he know? Everything. He's been building a custody case for months. Doctored evidence. Witness statements. Marcy sobs. He's been 10 steps ahead. Logan, standing by the door, goes pale. Money doesn't matter here. Gia nods. It never did. Marcy reaches across. "I'll testify. I'll tell the court. He'll destroy your sister. I don't care anymore. Please, let me help." Gia looks at this woman who betrayed her. This woman who's terrified and ashamed, but she understands how terrible the Crowns are. "I forgive you." Marcy breaks. "That's not all." The room goes silent. There's someone, an investigator. He's been trying to contact you for months, but Fred asked me to tip him off. He says he can help. I can't afford. It's already paid for. Anonymous donation. She hands over a business card. Gia takes it, looks at Logan. He shakes his head, wasn't him? "Then who's paying?" She asks. "And why?" No one answers. That afternoon, Logan's online emergency board meeting shakes everything. Your personal complications are jeopardizing the deal. The Crowns are using threats. End the relationship. Publicly, or we vote you out. You don't have the shares. Your grandfather does, and he prepared to side with us. Silence. Hearing all this, Gia feels guilty and suggests he handles it in person. Logan finds her at the bakery that night. "I can't do this to you," she says. "Gia." Logan tries to reason with her, but Gia wouldn't let him finish. "You'll lose everything because of me." "I don't care." "I don't love you, Logan." She yells out words that stop the world. She forces herself to continue. Voice flat, dead. "I was using you for protection. It was selfish. I'm sorry." He searches her face, sees through the lie. "It's over. Please go." He looks at her one more time, then leaves. The door chimes. She slides down against it, sobs. Later, Sammy finds her on the floor, sitting in the same spot as the morning of that first day. She pulls him close, starts humming, but the melody falters, breaks, stops. 2 days later, Fred appears at the bakery, alone, non-threatening. He looks tired. But abusers always know when to look human. "I'm not here to fight." Gia's hand moves toward her phone. He raises his hands. 5 minutes. "Please." Against every instinct, she lets him sit. He shows her texts from his father. Threats. He's been controlling both of us. "I've been in therapy. Real therapy. I know what I did." His voice cracks. "I just want to know my son. Supervised visits. Whatever you're comfortable with." She studies him. Is this real? Another mask? She knows it's a trap, but refusing might provoke them further. Sometimes survival means playing along. She's so tired. One visit. Supervised. Public. "Thank you." He stands. At the door. "You seem happier than before." "I'm glad." He leaves. She sits alone. She just made a deal with the devil. Again. Outside. Fred gets into a car. Mr. Crown sits in the driver's seat. She agreed? Fred nods. Smiles. The tired vulnerability evaporates like mist. She agreed. Mr. Crown starts the engine. Phase 2 begins tomorrow. Make sure Pierce doesn't interfere. And if he tries, Mr. Crown's smile is ice. Then we remove him from the equation. Permanently. The car pulls away. Inside the bakery, Gia locks the door. She doesn't see the black SUV that's been following her. Doesn't see the man inside, taking photos. Doesn't know that in 12 hours, everything she's fought to protect will be ripped away. And this time, there'll be no running. Because nightmares don't always come while you're sleeping. Sometimes they arrive at 6 a.m. with a knock on the door. Sometimes they wear suits and carry court orders. Sometimes they take your son while you're still making his breakfast. This is how Gia Moreno's world ends. Not with violence. With paperwork and 2 officers. A woman in a gray suit. Child Protective Services badge. Ms. Moreno, we have a court order for emergency custody transfer. Where's Samuel Crown? The name hits like a slap. Samuel Crown? Not Sammy Moreno? What? No, there's been a mistake. Gia counters. Ma'am, we need you to get the child. Now. Sammy appears behind her. Backpack on. Ready for school. Mom. The woman kneels. Speaks soft. Practiced. Hi, Samuel. I'm Ms. Vega. We're going to take a little trip today. You'll see your dad. No. Gia steps between them. You can't. I have custody. Not according to this. The officer hands her papers. Official seals. Judge's signature. Emergency order based on evidence of neglect, unsafe living conditions, and parental alienation. That's a lie. Ma'am, we can do this calmly, or we can involve additional authorities. Sammy's crying now. Mom, I don't want to go. Gia drops to her knees, grabs his face. Baby, look at me. Look at me. I'm going to fix this. I promise. I'm going to fix this. You have 3 minutes to pack a bag for him. She's shaking. Can't breathe. Can't think. She packs. Sammy's favorite shirt. His stuffed elephant. The photo of her mother. At the door, he clings to her. Don't let them take me. I have to, baby. But I'm coming for you. I swear. They pull him away. He's screaming, reaching for her. She tries to follow. The officer blocks her. Ma'am, if you interfere, we'll arrest you. She watches the car pull away. Her son's face in the back window. Getting smaller. Then gone. She collapses on the doorstep and screams until her throat bleeds. Logan learns about it from the news. He's in his office. Try to focus on anything but Gia when his assistant bursts in. Sir, you need to see this. The headline scrolls across the screen. Crown heir rescue from neglectful mother. Billionaire family wins emergency custody. Below it, photos of Gia. Photos of her unsafe bakery. Photos of Sammy looking tired after a long day. All carefully curated. All designed to destroy her. Logan's on his feet. Give me my new lawyer. Now. Sir, your grandfather already released a statement supporting the Crowns. I don't care what he... His office door opens. Mr. Crown walks in with his son like he owns the place. Mr. Pierce. We need to discuss the merger. Logan's voice is ice. Get out of my building. I'm afraid we can't do that. You see, your board held a vote this morning. Emergency session. The merger has begun. The world tilts. You can't. Your grandfather's shares, combined with 3 board members we've influenced, gave us the majority. We're partners, Logan. Fred steps forward, smiles. And Gia? She's be crawling back to Dash. Logan moves before he thinks. Grabs Fred by the collar. Slams him against the wall. Security rushes forward. Logan doesn't care. You orchestrated this. All of it. The catering job. The timing. You set her up. I protected my son from an unfit mother. Fred's smile widens. And there's nothing you can do about it. Mr. Crown signals. Security pulls Logan off. Restrains him. If you attempt to interfere in any way, we'll file harassment charges. Mr. Crown adjusts his tie. Stay away from my family, Mr. Pierce. They leave. Logan stands in his office, angry. He grabs his keys immediately, and in minutes, he's outside Gia's bakery, asking her to get in immediately. Two of them seat in a stranger's office. The investigator Marcus Webb, late 50s, kind eyes, slides a folder across a desk. I was hired 6 months ago to find leverage against the Crowns. Who hired you? Logan asks. I can't say, but they knew this was coming. Marcus opens the folder. What I found, it's enough to destroy them. Documents, photos, bank transfers. Mr. Crown's been embezzling from his own company for years. Offshore accounts, shell corporations. He's been using his grandson's trust fund to cover gambling debts. Gia stares. Sammy has a trust fund? $12 million. Gone. If the board finds out, Mr. Crown goes to prison. The family loses everything. Ms. Moreno, I have enough evidence to bury them, but you need to move fast. The custody hearing is in 3 days. I don't understand. Why are you helping me? Because whoever hired me also set up a trust for you. $5 million. For legal fees, relocation, whatever you need. He slides another paper across. It activates the moment you file charges. Gia picks up the document. Her hands shake. Someone's been protecting her. For months. Who would do this? Marcus shakes his head. All I know is the account name. Gia agrees to proceed. Logan excuses him to make a call, then takes her home after. Thank you. Gia breaks the silence outside her home. And I am sorry. Logan grunts, nods, then drives off. She did not expect him to show up the following day, but Logan did, together with Marcus, and they spread all the documents across her kitchen table. We exposed the embezzlement publicly, forced the board to remove Mr. Crown. Without his power, the custody case collapses. But we need proof Sammy is in danger, Gia adds. Real proof, not just counterclaims. Logan pulls up security footage. I had cameras installed at my office, including the conference room where Mr. Crown threatened me. I have him on video admitting the custody case is about money, not Sammy's welfare. Gia stares. That's admissible? If we move fast enough. They work through the night, building their case, piece by piece. At 3 a.m., Gia steps outside for air. Logan follows. Thank you, she says quietly, for not giving up. I could never give up on you. He hesitates. What you said before, that you didn't love me. I lied. She turns to face him. I lied because I was terrified, because everyone I've ever loved has been taken from me, and I couldn't. He kisses her softly. Don't let them take this too, he whispers. Don't let them take us. She nods, wrapping her arms around him, enjoying his warmth in the cold night. Soon after, they return inside. Very early the next morning, Gia gets a call. Fred asks her to come see Sammy, because Sammy won't calm down. She gets the address and rushes to her son without a second thought. But instead of seeing her son unhappy in their midst, he stands between them like he's one of them, like they brainwash him overnight. He's ours now, Mr. Crown says, holding Sammy confidently. You had your chance. She reaches for Sammy. He steps back. Mom, why did you let them take me? I didn't. I tried. Gia assures her son, but her words fall on deaf ears. He doesn't want to be in the same space with her either. What did you do to my son? Gia lunges at Fred, grabbing his collar, almost crying. Fred swears he never did a thing. She doesn't believe. She blames him for ruining her perfect life, her perfect family, her peace, until a gunshot pierces the air and her son falls to the ground. Sammy. Gia screams as she wakes gasping, soaked in sweat. Logan's beside her. Just a dream. You're safe. But she's not. None of them are. I need to see him, she whispers. Before the hearing, I need to see my son. Gia, if you violate the custody order, I don't care. I need to see him. Logan nods slowly. I'll make it happen. The next morning, Marcus calls with something new. I found something. In your mother's effects. A letter. Sealed. Addressed to you. Gia meets him at a coffee shop. He hands her an envelope, her mother's handwriting. She opens it with shaking hands and reads every word carefully. My darling Gia, if you're reading this, then the Crowns have found you. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you longer. There's something about Sammy's birth you need to know. Something the Crowns can never discover. The records I alter will protect you both. But only if you trust me. There are things I did that night at the hospital. Things you may not understand. Things I pray you'll never need to question. But if they come for him, if they try to take him from you, you must use what I've left behind. The truth is hidden, but it will set you free. In the safe deposit box at Bank of America, downtown branch, box 2847, you'll find documents that will end their claim forever. The key is with my jewelry, the locket I wore every day. Use it when you're ready. Trust what you find, even if it seems impossible. All my love, Mom. Gia reads it 3 times. Can't breathe. Can't process. She looks at Logan, confusion written all over her face. We need to get to that bank. Gia says, now. They arrive at the bank within the hour. Gia produces a key, a small brass thing she kept in her mother's locket, without ever knowing what it opened. The manager leads them to the vault. Box 2847. Inside documents. Medical records. She reads it once. Twice. 3 times. No, she whispers. This can't be right. Logan looks over her shoulder. Goes completely still. The report is clear. No biological match between Samuel Moreno and Frederick Crown. Paternity excluded. This ends everything. Marcus says, with this and embezzlement evidence, the Crowns have no case. No claim. Nothing. But Gia's still staring at the document, at her mother's handwriting in the margins, at the date, at the details she never questioned. Something doesn't feel right, but she pushes the feeling down. They have what they need. The hearing is tomorrow, she says, her voice steady for first time in days. Let's finish this. The custody hearing arrives. Courtroom packed. Press outside. The Crown sitting with their army of lawyers. Gia enters with Logan and Marcus. Fred sees her. Smiles like he's already won. The judge enters. Let's begin. Mr. Crown's lawyer stands. Presents their case. Evidence of neglect. Unsafe environment. Parental alienation. All lies. All carefully constructed. Then it's their turn. Logan's lawyer stands. Your Honor, we have evidence that this entire case is fraudulent, built on fabricated documents, embezzled funds, and false pretenses. He presents the embezzlement evidence, the doctored photos. The video of Mr. Crown admitting the custody case is about money. The courtroom erupts. The judge bangs her gavel. Order. Mr. Crown's lawyer tries to recover. Your Honor, regardless of these allegations, our client has a biological right to his son. Actually, Gia stands, her voice steady, strong. He doesn't. Logan's lawyer walks forward, places the DNA evidence on the judge's bench. Samuel Moreno is not Frederick Crown's biological son. This document, signed by the hospital, certified and dated, proves it. Fred's face goes white. That's impossible. The original paternity test from the day he was born. Sammy has no biological connection to your family, which means you have no legal claim, no rights, nothing. Mr. Crown stands. This is fabricated. It's certified, dated, sealed by the hospital. Gia turns to the judge. The judge studies the documents, looks at the Crowns, looks at Gia. This is highly irregular. I'm calling a recess while I verify these documents. Court will reconvene in 2 hours. Everyone stands. The Crowns are surrounded by their lawyers. Fred pushes through, grabs Gia's arm. You think this changes anything? Will. Logan steps between them. Touch her again. I dare you. Security moves in, separates them. Gia wants to say something, but Logan pulls her back. He found a way for her to see Sammy. The social worker receives a look from Logan, looks at this mother who just fought an empire, then nods. 5 minutes. I'll be right outside. She leaves. Gia drops to her knees. Sammy runs to her. She holds him, breathes him in. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Mom, is it true? Fred's not my dad. She pulls back, looks at his face. No, sweetheart, he's not. Then who is? She cups his face. I don't know, honey, but it doesn't matter. What matters is you're mine. You've always been mine. Are you taking me home? I'm trying, baby. I'm trying so hard. The door opens. The social worker returns. Time's up. Sammy clings tighter. I don't want to go back there. Mr. Crown scares me. He yells all the time. And Fred, he's not nice like he pretended. Gia's blood runs cold. Did they hurt you? No. But, Mom, I want to go home, please. I won't let them. I promise. The social worker gently separates them. Come on, Samuel. It's Sammy, Gia calls after them. His name is Sammy. The door closes. She stands there, alone. Logan appears beside her. The judge will rule in your favor. The evidence is overwhelming. But what if she doesn't? What if they find a way? They won't. It's over, Gia. You won. But it doesn't feel like winning. Not with her son on the other side of that door. Not with everything still uncertain. 2 hours pass like years. They reconvene. The judge returns. Her face unreadable. I've reviewed the evidence. Both sets. And I've made my decision. The room holds its breath. The DNA evidence presented is legitimate. Samuel Moreno has no biological connection to Frederick Crown or the Crown family. Therefore, their custody claim has no legal foundation. Mr. Crown stands. Your Honor, we've raised this child for weeks, provided for him. You kidnapped him using fraudulent documents. Mr. Crown, you and your son will be investigated for perjury, document falsification, and child endangerment. Separate charges regarding embezzlement will be filed by your company's board. She turns to Gia. Ms. Moreno, pending the court's verification of all documentation, full custody is restored to you effective immediately. I'm also issuing a restraining order. The Crown family is to have no contact with you or your son. Gia's knees buckle. Logan catches her. Furthermore, regarding the evidence of corporate manipulation and coercion, I'm forwarding this case to the district attorney. There will be consequences. The gavel comes down. This court is adjourned. The room explodes. Press rushing forward. Lawyers shouting. Gia pushes through. To the back. To the door where they took Sammy. The social worker brings him out. He runs to her. She catches him. Holds him. They sink to the floor together. It's over, she whispers. You're coming home. Really? Really? Across the room, Mr. Crown is being led away by investigators. Fred is screaming at his lawyers. Their empire is crumbling. But Gia doesn't watch. Doesn't care. She just holds her son. A week later, the court confirms it. The DNA results are verified by 3 independent labs. All say the same thing. Sammy and Fred are not related. Gia's overjoyed, relieved, free. But late at night, when Sammy's asleep and Logan's beside her, a question nags at the back of her mind. She'd been with Fred for months. She'd been faithful. She knows she was. So how? Stop thinking about it. Logan whispers in the dark. I can't. It doesn't make sense. She wants to believe him, wants to let it go, but she can't. Days pass. The bakery reopens. Gia needs a distraction. She's humming again. The old melody. Sammy's at his corner table doing homework. Pencil behind his ear. Logan enters with coffee. Kisses her forehead. How's the first day back? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. The bell chimes. Mrs. Chun. 6:15. Like clockwork. There it is, she says, smiling. That humming sound I miss. Gia smiles back. Genuine. Full. Free. Logan watches her work. Push, fold, turn. But now there's music in it. Joy in the routine. Sammy looks up from his homework. Mom, can Logan stay for dinner? She looks at Logan. At this man who fought beside her. Who never gave up. Yeah, baby. He can stay. 6 months later, Logan's grandfather's resigned. Logan is a majority shareholder, and he plans a vacation so he can finally propose. Barely hours before the proposal, Logan's phone rings. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer, but something makes him pick up. Mr. Pierce? This is Dr. Helena Voss from the State Medical Board. I'm calling regarding case number 847, the Crown custody matter. Logan's stomach drops. The case is closed. The ruling was final. Sir, as part of our routine verification process for contested custody cases, we ran additional genetic testing. Standard protocol when fraud is suspected. Gia looks up from the balcony where she's been watching the sunset, sees Logan's face. What's wrong? He puts the call on speaker. Dr. Voss, what did you find? There's a pause, long enough to stop their hearts. Mr. Pierce, Ms. Moreno, we need you to return to the United States immediately. There's been a significant discrepancy in the DNA results. Gia moves closer. What kind of discrepancy? Ma'am, I'm not at liberty to discuss this over phone, but the Crown family has been notified. They're demanding the case be reopened. On what grounds? Logan's voice is sharp. 3 independent labs confirmed. Sir, I understand, but our tests revealed something the previous labs didn't check for. Another pause. We ran a maternity test as part of our full panel. The world stops. Gia's voice comes out as a whisper. What? Mrs. Pierce, according to our results, you are not Samuel's biological mother. The phone slips from Logan's hand. Gia staggers backward. Logan catches her. That's impossible, she breathes. I gave birth to him. I was there. Ma'am, our tests are conclusive. We've run them twice. And when we cross-reference with the hospital records from that night, we found irregularities. Your mother had access to the neonatal ward. There were 2 births that night. 2 baby boys. The words hang in the air like poison. What are you saying? Gia's voice breaks. We're saying there may have been a switch. Accidental or intentional, we don't know yet. But Ms. Moreno, Dr. Voss's voice softens. The child you've raised for 8 years is not biologically yours.